Hey guys, as someone who works with property investors here in the Outer Banks, we're always looking for different loan options and lender products to offer our clients to get the best return on their investment. And we've actually had the pleasure to start working with Alan Logan of Commercial Capital Funding LLC. And we actually got to sit down with Alan today to talk about the different options that he offers, the different products that he can work with short-term rentals specifically here in the Outer Banks, and we're very happy to share this information with you. So take a look, let us know if you have any questions. We can happily get you in contact with Alan and get something rolling for you if you see a property that you love here, or if you just want to talk about future investments, we're happy to do so.
About yourself and what areas you serve.
Well, I've been in the mortgage business for 25 years. I started out doing residential loans like everybody else, and kind of worked my way up through there. And I went to Wells Fargo private mortgage banking for about 6 years. And I just noticed it was a completely different animal. It was a total, and I loved it. I was dealing with higher end properties, and it was just a natural progression for me. And the way my passion really is with numbers and marketing and stuff. So I got back into it, and at that time, my license had expired, and I didn't know if I wanted to go through that whole process. And I started exploring commercial loans, and it excited me, and I'm so glad I did it. So there was a learning curve, but I mean everything was basically the same, and it's been great for me. It's been a great move, I think.
Yeah, well, when speaking with you and hearing you speak at our panel and everything, it's obvious that this is what you love to do. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I really feel like uh, it's all about relationships. And uh, when I was doing residential loans, everybody has the same product, right? It's everybody's got FHA, VA, conventional, and you're really just competing with the other guys, the other 500 people in your market area that are doing the same exact thing, and they all get their money from the same place, same rates. It's whoever brings the best donuts to the real estate offices is getting the deals, right? So my marketing was a little bit different. I kind of took a different strategy towards it, and that's what I love to do. I love to be in front of people. I love to talk to people. I would go out to lunch every single day if I could. But it's about relationship building, and if you meet people and you get along and they like you and you do a good job, I think that that's going to just generate more business. And the business to me is secondary, honestly. It's a way that I provide for my family, and it's a way that I do things. But I get up every day and I love to talk to people about money and how I can help them uh, achieve their goals, and think outside the box a little bit and try to figure out how to make it work.
that's awesome. Well, in working with you, we have found how you do offer different products than what you said the 500 other people in the area are doing. So can you tell us a little bit about how your products are unique or different than what they're offering for residential?
Absolutely. Residential loans are sometimes tough for uh, a certain type of borrower. For instance, people that are buying investment properties. A lot of times, those people have their money in so many different places. They can't always track their money where it comes from. We know that with residential retail lending, they have to source and season that money. We don't have to source and season the money. We just have to make sure that it's in your account when we close. So what that means, and the advantage that the client has for that is, if they wanted to buy a property and need 25% down and they just don't have that cash available, they could actually refinance a house, do a cash out, or get a HELOC or whatever else. And I work with residential lenders that I can refer, or you guys have somebody in your office. Um, so it kind of becomes a mutual relationship or a beneficial relationship, symbiotic,
Mhm.
um, where your guy could do the cash out, and then we just verify they have the money. The other thing with self-employed borrowers, a big group of people getting together, I don't need to pull everybody's tax returns. I don't need to look at anybody's personal income at all. We qualify them based off of the cash flow of the property. And as we know, every property down there is cash flowing positively. So
Yeah.
it really comes down to three things with this product, and it's a credit score over 640, 25% down, and the property has to cash flow.
Right. And you
I
can,
do a lot of other things though. I mean, I do all commercial loans, but when I was down there, I lived at the Outer Banks for about 10 years, and I know what the inventory was like. I know what the sales were like. And when this product came to my attention, I really wanted to focus on this in the Outer Banks. So that's what I pushed the most, is this particular product, the short-term vacation rental product. But I've done ground up construction for somebody in your office. I'm doing a construction of a restaurant down there. I've refinanced a bunch of restaurants. So anything commercial I can do, but I think that my bread and butter down there is the short-term vacation rental product.
Right. Well, that's kind of our bread and butter too. We try to help, people find good investment properties, good cash flowing properties, and then try to help them manage it in a way that's going to free up some of that cash flow where they're not giving so much percentage to a company. And,
Right.
that's what we're really excited about, that you guys have in the, DSCR loans is basically the product, that we're talking about. And it's kind of new here. Like, people have never heard of it. They're
Right.
like, wait, I can use the rental income to help me qualify for
Right.
the house. So can you tell us a little bit about how, like, using the income can help them qualify and what that looks like?
Of course. If you were to qualify the traditional way, we would take your overall income, your gross income, and then look at every debt that you have, and we would come to a calculation of your debt to income ratio. So with the DSCR loans, we literally don't look at your debt. We pull a credit report, but we don't calculate your debt into the figure. And we look at the money that the property generates, and that's the figure that we use. Now, I'm going to throw some numbers, and it may be complicated, but a DSCR loan usually has to cash flow at least 1.2%. And for easy numbers, that would mean if the mortgage payment was $1,000 a month, it would have to generate at least $1,200 a month in income. It's a great product. As we know down there, they are all generating positively. I haven't run into one property down there that had an issue with cash flow. The great thing about this product as well is that if the property that they're buying may be an estate sale and maybe somebody's second home where it's not currently in a rental pool, we can use projected rental income to qualify, which is unheard of. So the only thing that would happen is the agent, we would get like a BPO basically of what the rental income would be for the short-term vacation rental. And then when we have the appraiser come in, they do what's called a 1007 supplement to the appraisal, and they put down what the market value of a short-term rental would be, and that's the number that we have to use. So it's whatever's going to be on the appraisal, but they're usually pretty good. The appraisers that are coming down there, they understand the market, and I haven't had issues with that either.
And that's with 20% down and minimum 620, you said?
It's a minimum 640, and
640, sorry.
the 20% down is the program guidelines. However,
In the Outer Banks.
your location, every one of my investors considers the Outer Banks a rural area. So there's a 5% hit to the LTV.
Okay.
So most of the clients that I do down there have to put down 25%.
Okay.
And one other thing I wanted to throw out about that is it's not just about coming up with the cash, a HELOC or a rate and term. We've got some investors that will allow you to cross collateralize a property. So if they own another property with significant equity in it, we could put a lien on that property with no payment and just use that equity as a collateralization and reduce the amount of money they need to come to the table with.
Great. Yeah.
It's a little bit more difficult and it's a pricier loan, but it's possible.
Great.
So if they do have other properties and they're running it under an LLC, they can buy their properties under their LLC.
Correct.
Business loan, and they're running it like that. So
correct. And we also will allow them to hold title individually, not just as an LLC. If they want to put it in an LLC, that's great. A newly formed LLC is allowed too.
right.
We just have to get the articles of organization and the
And that's
certificate of good standing. Right.
what our investors are doing right now.
Correct.
In a new state.
Correct. Yep. So it's a very flexible loan. It's a money maker. I mean, honestly, for you and for me, it's and for the borrower. let's be honest, I mean, they're allowed to get into a property that they probably wouldn't otherwise be able to get into.
Right.
So, I think it works out for everybody.
And they're able to buy multiple, they're able to hold multiple of these loans, like, and have multiple properties?
They can have as many as they want.
Okay.
And the greatest, I mean, I have done some for, I was just referred, I think, Sarah sent me one of her clients that I think did a panel with you guys also. They own, I think, 3 other properties, and we just did one. Here's the greatest. We refinanced one of their properties that they currently have and did a cash out on that and used that money to buy another one because we're not adding any more debt to it because we don't look at the debt.
Right.
So all they had to do was come up with 25% to buy another property. And so they cashed out one investment property and put it down on another one. So they were able to double their investment properties just by doing it that way.
That's a great strategy. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much.
And then once they have,
No,
I'm sorry, I
please.
keep thinking I'm bad about that.
Yeah, that's great. We
Um,
love it. We want to share as much information as we can. This is a great product.
One of the other products that I love that doesn't get enough, I guess, consideration. It's called a portfolio product. Okay, so it's basically a blanket mortgage. So you can take up to 5 properties and wrap them into one loan. So you only have one payment. So after these people acquire 3 or 4 properties doing it this way, we tie it all up into one mortgage. So they have one payment and they don't have to worry about anything else. It's one payment. It covers all 4 houses or whatever it is. And they could take cash out if there's equity and buy the 5th property. But there's a million different ways and every loan is different and unique, just like every buyer is for you guys. And one of the things that I love about what I do is it's almost like a puzzle. So you get all the information up front and then you try to figure out how to make it work. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to go to this short-term vacation rental property. But sometimes people are strapped for cash and they need to figure out how to get it. And hopefully we can help them figure that out.
For sure. Well, it sounds like you have plenty of options for our many opportunities. So that's good.
I'm going to help you guys sell 20 houses this year.
Yes.
Sweet, let's do it. Thanks for chatting with us, and we're happy to recommend you to all our clients. So thanks for taking the time to chat with us, and you'll be hearing from us.
I appreciate it. And the next time I'm down, save some time for lunch. I'll take you guys to lunch. I'd love
For
to.
sure.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ellen.
Thank you, ladies.
See ya.
Bye-bye.